Just a comment about this. So lots of people have said, people have asked me if I'm going to review the debate that I had yesterday. And the thing is, I still don't really call it a debate because it wasn't meant to be a debate. Thank you, first off, the Kelly Osto. I went into the discussion very, very clearly with with the intention to have an actual good faith discussion with Trent Dougherty. And the thing is,
Hold on. I was just about to go to it to check the comments. So I went on to YouTube, and then Jay Dyer is live right now. Jay Dyer's live, and it says Trent Horn refuted Catholics, Muslims, and Jews worship the same God, but it has a picture of the Pope kissing a Muslim. Oh, anyway, that's what I was laughing at.
that's very rude.
It's pretty funny going on.
That's
This
very rude.
is what you're doing, Cameron.
Yeah, I saw somebody else say, "I'm a Catholic, and what Cameron is doing is very, very bad for our church and all that." Now here's the thing. So I had a good discussion with Cameron yesterday, prior to and also during the discussion and also afterward. So I thank Cameron for arranging that, for doing that. He is the one who invited me to have a discussion with Trent Dougherty, and I accepted it, and I went there and discussed. And my intention was just to go there and to ask clarifying questions, to somehow try to understand, to build bridges, but also to offer to Trent Dougherty the Islamic perspective on things, and to make it clear that it's just not acceptable to people across the board to say that Muslims and Christians worship the same God. So I did go there, and I was very surprised about much of what was said during the discussion, because Trent Dougherty, I'm going to be very honest. I said to him after the discussion, I said thank you and I appreciate this and no hard feelings and all that. But during the discussion, at some points things got a little bit heated, and I tried to stay calm and cool.
Did he challenge you to fight?
But no, he did challenge me to. He did offer me $1,000 though.
Oh yeah, take it.
Actually, I'm gonna check that out in a second. That's kind of a funny point here. But there were certain points. There was a point in the discussion where I actually had the feeling where it was going a little bit too far, and it was like touching a little bit of a zealous part, I guess, that I have inside me with my newfound faith in Christianity, where I almost wanted to say, you know what, you don't sound like a Christian at all. This is like pure heresy. What the heck? But then I thought to myself, okay, no, I can't do that. I can't do that. I'm in no position to do that. I'm in no position to do that. Just be quiet about it. So and then I tried to understand and reconcile and all that, but I did point out to him that the things that he says are don't seem to me to be don't seem to me compatible with Christianity, nor even with the Catholic Church. It just went a little bit too far. So
yes, when it comes to like the stuff we read in Vatican II, I'm kind of like, okay, this is not a good way to put things, even if I can kind of see, and we think about various qualifications and explanations and so on. I can kind of see where you're coming from. But then to defend it, these guys are using arguments which seem to me to lead inevitably to like massively blasphemous nonsense.
yeah.
And it's like, wait a minute, if that's what it takes to defend what Vatican II has said, that's a different story. So that's creepy. Yeah, check out the comments. Look at that. That was funny. Look at that. Holy crap. Trent said if a religion was started by satanic deception, it wouldn't be the same God, but later said if Islam was started by a demonic deception, they would still be worshiping the same God. That happened? I've heard he contradicted himself a bunch.
Yes, he did. He also did this here, and he did promise me $1,000, and I said I'm not gonna. I said I'm fine with it. I'm not gonna ask you for it.
Just make sure he pays in shekels. That would be 3,000 shekels.
But somebody did put it here in the chat, in the comments. Let me see. The timestamps for when he said it and when he claimed he didn't say it. Somebody had it here. Come on, man. Come on, man. Come on, man. Where is it? Where is it, man? Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on.
You already went by like a million timestamps, so
I know. Look, I know what approximate it is. I think
maybe
it's like
Cameron erased it.
I think it's 115 and 129 something. So, and who do not obey the gospel of our Lord Jesus, will be punished and will be punished with everlasting destruction and shut out from the presence of the Lord. You try to explain to me that Muslims do fit the criteria because they do know God and they also often do obey the gospel of our Lord Jesus Christ, which seems, so when you were doing that, you were seemingly implying.
Oh, hang on.
Look, he already denied it right here, and then he's going to continue denying it.
Hang on, dude. It's one of the top comments. They include they include one timestamp. It says just before the 90-minute mark, Trent denies saying Muslims know God.
Okay. I'm there. I got it. I got it. So you are denying that there is salvation for them. I don't really understand.
I'll pay you.
Why were you trying to make the point that they do know God?
AP.
Yes.
I will pay you $1,000.
Here we are.
If replaying the tape, proves me saying that, I'll pay you $1,000.
Okay, so if replaying
that, I didn't say that.
You did say that.
Oh,
everyone in the chat you said that.
Even Cameron says you did say that.
Yeah, Cameron, you're best buddy in the whole world.
I said it makes it possible. My position on this has been absolutely.
And now let's go back to the timestamp.
It's 1:15:38.
Let's see, 1:15:38. Let's check it out. If he did say.
Wait, hang on. Just to be clear, you say you criticize his position for claiming that Muslims know God, and he says, "I'll give you $1,000 if you show me where I say that." Yeah. And then Cameron Bertuzzi and everyone in the chat apparently says, "No, that's exactly what you said." And then he says, "No, I'm saying it's possible."
I'm saying that Muslims do know God. So
dude, that's $1,000 right there. If anything is, okay, guys, if he does not pay AP $1,000, all of his, I'll pay you $100. I'll pay you. It's all nonsense. He's not going to pay, right? And he should not be taken seriously. If you say, I'm saying Muslims do know God, and then 15 minutes later, hey, you say Muslims know God. What? I'll give you $1,000 if you ever say that. If you show me where I say that.
It's so funny because it's right here. You go through it and it's like, I'm saying Muslims do know God.
And many Muslims do.
Dude, have you not shared a clip just of him going back and forth?
Because
you're nice now. That's what I'm saying. Old AP would have been all over that.
If this was a Muslim, I would have done that immediately, probably. But I don't want to. I don't know. This is not what I went into this discussion for. I found it kind of messed up that it turned into this. It was very. And I also asked him, we were talking about what he and his side means when they say that that Muslims worship the same God, right? And we said many times, like I said, for example, insofar that Muslims intend to worship the God of Abraham, but then end up, worshiping their understanding of the God of Abraham. Insofar as they intend to worship that God, I agree with you that they worship that God. That's your position, right? I asked him, and he said, "No, my position is more than that." In fact, let me get there. Let me go there. Let me find directly that place. That was a little bit shocking to me, man. That was a little bit shocking to me. Intend. Let's look. Intend.
Apparently the other Trent posted, do Christians and Muslims worship the same God today? I think that may be what Jay is responding to.
Let's look here. Difference.
Multiple Trents, man.
And the issue is that there is a difference in how worship is defined, with how you worship, how you define worship, and how the other side defines worship. When you say that Muslims worship the same God, all you are saying is that they intend to or turn toward their understanding of the God of Abraham, right? And
I mean more than that. I mean a lot more than that.
What do you mean? In brief, to help me understand that.
Like whatever it is that we are doing when we worship, you can. So note that I'm not giving a intentional definition. I'm giving an extensional definition. Okay. So I'm saying whatever it is, we don't even have to argue about the definition. I'm saying whatever it is that Christians are doing when we're worshiping God is what they're doing.
Did you hear that?
Whatever we're doing, that's what they're doing.
Yeah. There's just no way that I can accept that, or that the others, that the Christian side, on the other hand, can accept that. It's just this is so ridiculous, and I don't know. It was a little bit confusing to me. And the thing is, I don't even think that this is the Catholic position. There are lots of people who because of this say, "Wow, Catholicism is insane. Catholics are insane." The thing is, so while the Catholic Church does have certain stances on this, such as that Muslims in some way worship the same God, what Trent is saying here is not even the Catholic position. It goes much further than the Catholic position. So I want to tell people, I wanted to say this earlier. This guy does not represent the Catholic Church. This goes far. This seems to me heretical, even by the standards of the Catholic Church.
Yeah, this seems wild. That's why I was mentioning. Like, I can kind of see defending what Vatican II says, right? Like, here's what this really means, and okay, maybe in that sense, it's just, is it really helpful if you're saying this when I don't see what good is. It seems like it's just going to create massive confusion. Everyone's going to go around saying, "Oh, we all worship the same God," and that's going to lead to why are we preaching the gospel to people? Keep in mind, that's not what these guys are saying. They're not saying stop preaching God. I'm saying it without massive amounts of qualification and clarification, it can come across that way. So anyway, what Trent is saying, the arguments he's using seem to lead, like, inevitably to deranged, blasphemous nonsense, like horrible. And that's what I was saying earlier. It's like, okay, you have this Catholic position, Vatican II, and so on. Maybe I don't know, but maybe by a stretch of the mind, I can kind of see that. Still disagree. Not a good way to put things. Probably don't put things that way, but I don't think you're insane for saying that. But then you've got the guys, Trent and Cameron, who are defending the position, and it's like, wait, if that's what you need to defend the position, then this sounds insane. Now, this does sound insane if that's what's required to defend Vatican II.
Like, for example, and you say if they don't derive it from the Bible, then they probably don't worship the same God. I don't really understand that position. If we were talking about a hypothetical and we said that there is a religion somewhere in the Mediterranean that comes into existence, where they have a new god named Mamumu, for example, who demands them to collect as many women as possible and to sacrifice them to their one god, but they also fully and devoutly believe that this is actually the true God, and that our God is false. Would you, for example, say
well, then sure.
idolatry?
Is there concept of God, the creator and sustainer of the world?
Yeah.
Okay, then yeah, they're referring to God.
Well, he was also saying Muslims are doing the exact same thing in worship, right? They're doing the same thing in worship, and then you give the example, and then he's saying, yeah.
This is too much, man.
Guys, I mean, just think about it. Like Muslims with their worship, they're reciting Surat al-Fatiha a bunch of times a day, right? And Surat al-Fatiha, one, they're just repeating an Arabic prayer, but in that prayer is a prayer not to be like Christians, and so praying not to be like Christians and just reciting it in Arabic is the same thing we're doing. I don't know. It seems weird.
Wild. Anyway, I see some people were going through this interview. I don't personally want to review it myself, so I think enough has been said, and The only thing that I would hope for is that this just serves as an example of things not to say and not to think as a Christian.
Yeah. Yeah. By the way, for everyone who's you've got the people who are, hey, don't respond to this. We were hearing it earlier when we were on with IP and stuff. It was, you do have people who are like, hey, I don't see why you're arguing about this. Stop, focus on something else. Keep in mind, guys, that's not on us. That's on people who keep pushing the issue. We're simply responding. But guess what? Sometimes you need to respond and crush a position to teach people that they shouldn't make this the hill that they want to take their stand on. Right. In other words, if we all just, we don't want to argue because it's other Christians, so we don't want to argue about this. We don't want to cause a scene here. Well, then you just keep running with it, right? You want to make them go, oh man, we shouldn't have brought this up. We shouldn't keep saying this stuff because this is not good. So you kind of have to respond and show why it's dumb.